What is going on, everybody? It's your boy King Graves, and I am back again. I say this every time, but that's the intro. Listen, it takes a lot for me to get in this chair sometimes. Sometimes we're watching shows, sometimes we're recording videos and stuff like that I'm not really interested in, but I know it's a good topic, and I kind of want to talk about it. And like I said, I'm not really interested in it, but I kind of want to dive deeper in and see what's going on, so I keep making more videos about it. That's not the case with this one. Marathon, man. It's been a minute since we got something. I don't know if you guys have ever watched it, but I think I did a reaction to it when it first got announced, which was lit. I remember seeing this and thinking, oh my god, like Bungie, come on, Bungie, like it was lit. So on the heels of that, there was a ARG that happened, I forget, it was the first one. It was like right after the gameplay reveal, I believe. Like I said, don't take my word for it exactly. We'll be watching some videos about some breakdowns from amazing marathon content creators, and I want to try and do my best to keep up. So we're going to be using their videos first, and then we'll be doing our own videos after that, just to let you guys know. And I will be crediting them in the description. Also, before we continue, before I start yapping, if you guys want to subscribe, please subscribe. We're going to be covering a lot of marathon stuff. This game looks amazing, and like I said, we always cover a lot of Marvel Rivals stuff as well. Right now, we're in the midst of Daredevil Born Again. We've been watching a lot of that, so feel free to watch my reviews on those as well. But make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification when I'm posting new videos or when I'm streaming, and make sure you hit the like button and put something in the comments. Let me know what you think about this game. Do you think it's going to flop? Do you think it's going to be good for 2 weeks and then we're going to put it down? Or is this going to be amazing because it's Bungie? But neither here nor there. We got a second ARG that happened over the weekend. Really, the first hint of it that I saw was like on Thursday, I want to say. I was at work and I saw a YouTube video about something. I think they were talking about the ARG. I think there was a hint. Some people were seeing a tweet pop out from the Marathon Twitter. There was another tweet I think it came out from another account called like Mida or something like that, which was wild. So off to the races, and there we begun. But this is the first part of the Marathon ARG. Shout out to Jake, the All Right. He's been grinding. I've been watching a lot of his stuff for Marathon. I've been watching it since he's been making Marathon stuff because there's literally been like nothing on it, and he's been making it interesting. And keeping us engaged with the videos and all the information as well. And hopefully one day I can get as big as him and I can also cover a lot of stuff as well. But your boy got a day job, so I try and cover as much as I can. I try and get some videos done and make sure I bring them out there. But we're going to be watching his recap on the first part of the ARG, and then I'm going to be doing my own commentary over it. Like I said, I will link him in the description, and I really appreciate him. Let's see what we got
here, and I'm sure you're aware of it, and I'm also sure that you are overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information that we are getting. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of messages, tens of thousands of hours of video and live streams looking at it. There's a lot to get through, but I say we just take a step back and calmly go through what we have so far and understand that even as I'm saying these words to you guys, it'll be a little bit out of date. Some new stuff,
and we'll be talking about that as well, guys.
There'll be even more new stuff, but we will get to that as well, all in good time. Let's just take a calm little stroll through what has occurred so far in the new Marathon ARG. And let's start with Rilo. Awesome YouTube creator Rilo shared a photo on X.
And we're also going to talk about this. Shout out to everyone in the community cracking this code. I don't know if you guys are new here, etc. I was a part of the Dead Drop community where we got to have our own ARG. I got to participate in that, and it was really fun. Shout out to all those people. I hope they might kind of migrate over to this game. This game was pretty much a straight competitor for Dead Drop. It's, another extraction shooter, battle royale. Sad to see it go, but I'm hoping a lot of the people who were a part of that and making content for that come over here, and we can kind of bring our communities together, because I do miss talking to a lot of those people. But shout out to all the people who have cracked this code and have done a lot, but we're going to continue.
That he got from Bungie. It's signed by Joe Ziegler and Joseph Cross. It features 3 runners, the 2 in the back being Thief and Stealth, who we saw from the concept art back in October when Joe Ziegler did the developer update. And this new front runner, I guess maybe that's a little bit of a pun there, is a new runner that we have not seen before, featuring a very sick helmet as he peers over his shoulder. Shortly after Rilo would make this post,
Recon.
the official Marathon X account would post a video that seems to have these like kind of abstract blocky shapes with a dithering effect in the background, and it also featured some symbols that might be familiar if you saw the Destiny 2 Marathon themed emblem that was leaked a few weeks ago. At the same time they posted this, the YouTube, X, Twitch, Facebook, and even the PlayStation X account would change their cover or banner photos to have a similar kind of style to this video, with these big blocks of green, the black background, the emblems, and the dithering effect. These images all featured the same series of characters inside brackets somewhere in the image, something that we'd have to come back to later to decrypt. Mida's X account would become active with the username we_r_Mida, and they would post a bunch of cute little Mida sayings and poetry.
And like I said, I will be going back and forth. I will be talking about Dead Drop. I will be talking about this, and we'll be skipping around because, like I said, it is his video. And if you guys want to watch the full video, please watch it. But there was a lot of tweets going around. They were showing a lot of different things. Hints, poems. We kind of did the same thing in Dead Drop. I've never been a part of an ARG. There was one in the beginning for Dead Drop that I didn't get to be a part of, but I think this is cool to keep your audience engaged, to keep them going. A lot of studios announce a game and say, hey, here's the game, and then like, we'll see you guys never. When you do these ARGs and you have people who are dedicated to this on the team, it's amazing. Like, you feel like you're part of the group. You're trying to decipher stuff. I just joined the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, I can put a link in my description for the Discord as well if you guys would like to join the Dead Drop Discord as well as mine. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in there as well. But let's continue. Let's see what else he's talking about.
A link. When we went to this new link, we were prompted to sign into Twitch, and it featured a Twitch overlay that was slowly revealing symbols. At the bottom was a counter on the left side, and then a bar that said weak, medium, high. This was a Twitch overlay that Twitch streamers would have to sign into, and then dependent upon how many viewers were watching them while they were utilizing this Twitch overlay, the symbols on the page would decode faster, which would hopefully allow us to gather some new information. While these symbols were being decoded, people went back to the original Mida page, and they found this kind of creepy face in the background of the page itself, and also they saw that the tab section of the website was scrolling a very long Mida poem. Within that poem, there was a section that read RAGE, or R plus A plus G plus E. People took this information over to the UESC website, which was back in full force. Now, if you reloaded the page on the UESC website, and while the page was loading, you held down the R, A, G, and E keys, you would enter into a new terminal.
See, and this is what I mean. Like, we didn't even have this for Dead Drop, but that is so cool. Like, you get to download a overlay, and then you get to be able to go on Twitch. The more viewers you have, the more things it would unlock. So it's getting the community engaged. This is wild. I think this is pretty cool because I've watched a good bit of videos. I watched a little bit of this video, but I figured I wanted to react to it a little more and get some more information. But they have their own symbols. They have their own like alphabetical numeric code, so that way you can use it. And this was very intriguing to me because I saw a lot of people streaming live, putting in different names, different things, different information. I think we're going to scroll a little bit forward here and we're going to talk a little bit, but some guy put something from like Marathon 1, and Marathon 1 is from like 1994 or 5 or something like that. The first Marathon's pretty old. We're going to also watch a reaction to like the story of Marathon because I want to get geared up and make sure I know what's going on, even though this is kind of a retold story maybe, unless it's a through line for the whole thing. I would like to know the information. I'm pretty sure you guys would too. And that one we won't really stop and talk as much, but like I said, if you want to watch more of this video, you can. But you can see these codes, and that way you can put them in and you can try and decrypt certain things that were going on, which was cool. So everyone was hopping in this and getting different pieces to the puzzle. It was a community effort. It wasn't just one person going in and going crazy and trying to get everything. Everyone was getting pieces of the puzzle, and everyone was all hands on deck.
Would be revealed, and then the official Marathon account would post a security alert, An unauthorized transmission manipulation was detected, and the UESC had taken down the Twitch overlay. But that was not where things ended, as we uncovered a secret hidden directory inside the root of the RAGE terminal on the UESC website called Farsight 7. Inside of the Farsight 7 directory, there was a file called sound.bin, and when you executed it, it revealed a super cool screen where as you moved your mouse around, it would reveal new images and sounds. These were clips from the original trailer and cryptic messages and songs and all sorts of very cool stuff.
Wild.
And while this section is probably the most visually stimulating thing that we've gotten from the terminal so far, I do think that my favorite thing I've seen was the ASCII art of the weapons that are going to be in the game that were hidden inside of this terminal. Now, there are some more advancements in the UE,
which is wild because we got to see a lot of the guns and stuff like that. But one dude, I cannot remember his name, I was watching it on a video, he extracted the audio from the video, and apparently a lot of, like, the tune of the sounds were different points in the alphabet to make different words. Some sounds were similar, I think he was saying, and he was able to map it out from like 1 to 16. So as it was playing, he was able to see which letter was what, which I think he grabbed that and put that into the terminal to get some more information. Wild. How do you think of that? I don't know. Once again, if I had some more time on my hands, maybe, but community effort, like this community is wild. I hope I get welcomed with open arms, but that was the craziest thing I've ever seen someone break something down like that. I love problem solving. I do it for my job, my day job. But to be able to think like, all right, these sounds are ticks. You have to be a music major or something to be able to go through that and realize like, hey, this is A, this is B, this is like whatever. So we're already off to the races and running. If you guys are trying to keep up and keep track of what's going on, they tweeted out some stuff. You were able to get in through their websites. There's multiple different websites that they were using to be able to help you get through. Once everyone got through after the Twitch overlay, they put up this, like, it was like a Matrix looking thing showing the trailer, but it had the sounds. They cracked that. Now we're here. So it was just like a whole weekend of just things going on. I was paying attention to it here and there on social media, and especially on YouTube and Twitch from everyone who was streaming, but this was just wild.
Of Traxxas stuff again. And also in the bottom left, we had new chat logs, but this time it doesn't seem to be between the board of directors. Rather, these seem to be Traxxas employees who are talking about a logistics disruption and a server outage tied to some sort of cyber Acme issue all in the same day. The shipment that was disrupted is said to be Sekaguchi Jin cargo, assumedly meaning Biomata, and the cyber security threat was a cyber Acme system down issue where someone may have intruded Traxxas servers at the same time. The Traxxas website also featured 2 clickable items in the ring. One was listed as the CB-3463 drill, and the other was listed as TraxSat Management Console. When we click through to the CB-3463 drill, we would find a PDF, a user manual, an instruction manual for something called the Cave Crawler V2. This appears to be a remotely...
And to even go, like I said, we're going to be stopping and starting, but the Cave Crawler, I've been reading a lot about this. A lot of people have been posting about it, but one crazy thing is it seems like we're going to be controlling this either later on in this ARG. I am hoping, and we're going to get to the end of this and talk more about like when the reveal is and everything else like that. I'm hoping we get to control this, and maybe like during some parts of the ARG we can go through maybe like a dummy map. That would be amazing. Like we're unlocking stuff. Like imagine like everyone's using the rover. We're trying to look through the map to unlock a door to be able to give us access to whatever is going on in this ARG, or it's a completely different map and they make it specifically for that. That's dedication to your community, giving us something to do while this game is still in development and everything. But we still haven't had any word on betas or alphas or anything. A lot of people last week, a lot of content creators went out, to Bungie, and they were able to play Marathon early in the alpha state, which sounded pretty cool. I'm still always on the fence about playing a beta or an alpha. I was able to get into the Exoborn alpha and beta. It was really fun, and I enjoyed it and everything else like that. But sometimes I'm like, does it ruin the surprise? You know what I mean? Like, do you just want to wait until it comes out? I would love to play it early, but sometimes I always think about that. It's like getting a peek of your Christmas present before you open it. But
operated vehicle that at some point later in the ARG, fingers crossed, we may get to control. And there's a lot of really great, cool lore stuff that I want to dive into here, but we'll save that for another video. Traxxas logo in the middle, and a bunch of little boxes representing individual satellites that we could interact with by clicking on them and seeing what their purpose was. In the top left, we would see a 0 out of 2000 DAC clients recalibrating in some amount of time that would change. And in the bottom right, we would see a 2000 DAC clients required, total user amount, upload DAC. We would later learn that this DAC stood for data access card, and
but you would get these if you signed up for the Discord. I have one as well. I think it's kind of past the point for us to use those. I think they were used more for that satellite. Once you get into that page, you upload your DAC card, and then you'll be able to. Then the satellites, I think, were supposed to align. So with 2,000 people needed to upload theirs, which is pretty cool. I'm hoping I didn't miss out on that and miss out on a chance of getting into the beta or something like that if they have a list of people who were able to do it.
Sakaguchi website that's back, and man, I love the design of this thing. You first come on this kind of clear plastic rose object in the background, and then when you click through to access the site, you get this kind of 3D space with all these cards on it. Now, the cards themselves are largely the information from the last ARG, so learning about its founding, Hideo Murakami, the series of biomata that exists, but there are a bunch of new cards featured on the page. Unfortunately,
I don't know
they're
too
locked
much
and
about.
we can't see their contents, so we haven't gotten anything new, but I am excited to see what comes of it. After all this information was uncovered, Mida began to tweet again, giving us first a very strange, distorted sound file after tweeting "prepare to receive." Then they would later tweet out another short video with distorted audio, a image of a snake kind of warbling back and forth, and another classic Mida poem. People would kind of be stuck at this point for a little bit, but eventually Mida would tweet a new image featuring this big striking green square in the middle and another poem, but this time the clues were a little more on the nose, specifically talking about 02, that sound.bin file from earlier that we ran through the UESC terminal. Well, if you put your cursor in certain areas of the screen on that terminal while you're in the sound.bin file, you would be able to see numbers. People put these numbers into a grid matrix, and there was a 02 in 2 spots. What they discovered is that the first 02 was the start of a message, and the second 02 represent the characters that would tell you how to interpret that message.
Bro,
much of this is going a little bit over my head during this point, but basically this allowed them to find the link to the official Marathon Discord, or at least the official Discord for the ARG, but it seems like it's going to be repurposed into what people will use as the official Discord for the game as well. And after this, the official Marathon account would post a new screenshot saying @Justice, first breach, secure channel open, others to follow, as Justice, the user on Discord, was the first person to find the invite and join the server. The server was named Unauthorized Access Point.
Which, shout out to Justice. Like I said, everyone's chiming in and like trying to figure this out and get information. It's just wild to think how many people joined it. I don't even know how many people are in this. 7,535, which is a lot. But I don't even know how many people hopped in like over the weekend to be able to make this work, which is wild. But it seems like a lot of people were contributing, so crazy.
And the original symbol for it was an X that would turn into XIPE, ZIPE, And this would come up later as one of the codes that would have to be entered inside of the Discord itself. The Discord features a custom bot that has custom commands to complete tasks within the ARG to receive points. Now, initially, that point system or the contract system wasn't in there. We would have to wait until a message came through from a server bot named Null Transmitter. It was the Ozymandias poem. After that, contracts would become available on the Discord server, and these were actions that individual members of the server could take to earn points. And with the points, we would be able to get the DACs, the data access cards that we need to access the satellite map on Traxxas's website. People would immediately start trying to complete these contracts, and a few people even got their data access.
See, and this is what I was trying to figure out, because I got it. The DAC is your weapon against the walls, stolen from the corporate puppets, repurposed for a revolution. This card breaks chains, opens doors, marks your every act of defiance. Upgrade it through action, surrender it, and surrender yourself. Share it and be forgotten. The strongest among you will be rewarded. The system trembles when many become one. See, this is
access cards, but unfortunately it seems like the bots on the server were overwhelmed, and unfortunately we never got to 2,000 people having the data access cards so we could see what happens when the satellite map was unlocked. This would lead to Mida tweeting out that the satellite was cracked, realign is recharge, prep for final signal disrupt, window shuts equals push. Basically saying that they're going to need time to get the Discord server and the DAC stuff working on the website before we could push forward. This is basically where we're at now. We're waiting to utilize our data access cards on the Traxxas website to see what the satellite stuff does. My hope is that we get to control the cave crawler after this. We also are waiting to get higher clearance so that we can see all of the stuff that's locked on the UESC terminal currently that we have access to. We're also waiting to see the Sakaguchi cards that are locked and see how we get into that aspect of it. And obviously Bungie has a lot more planned for this ARG, and I think it's going to play out on a slightly longer timescale than the last ARG did. And I guess I should also add in there that we did get another tweet from Mida, as well as a new image from the official Marathon X account that appeared to be a bunch of piano key versions of some classical songs, which might be tied to some sort of UESC login information or something else later on, but we don't entirely know what that means yet either. Oh, and we also got a bunch of people tweeting saying that they were out at Bungie HQ playing Marathon all this week. Jeff Keighley, Hidden Xperia, and Scaro9 are the ones that come to mind, but there were a bunch of people there engaging in that as well. And also a cool shot of Joe Ziegler getting interviewed in front of a new kind of promotional piece that featured 3 runners. I believe the other 2 were Thief and Stealth, but the one at the bottom seems to be one we haven't seen before. So we kind of have at least 4 runners that we've seen, with 2 of them being from the concept art last October. So all very cool stuff. Like I said, this will be out of date by the time you're hearing it, but just know we'll slowly catch up. We have a lot of time to piece through everything.
True. And shout out to Jake the Alright. That man put everything together. There was a lot of stuff that, there's little things here and there that everyone puts in to the story. I've been watching a lot of people covering this right now, but it's wild, bro. Like, I didn't think like we'd be getting, right when me and my friends have been talking about this, we were like, yo, like, the scene right now for gaming has been so stale. There hasn't been much to do. Some games have come out, yes, and I agree, but at the same time, we just need something like a shakeup. You know what I mean? Like, we got Marvel Rivals, great hero shooter. We haven't, like, Call of Duty brought back Verdansk. While it's like it's good, it's the same thing. It definitely feels better. I played it. We'll be streaming it a lot more, but we're finally getting a good extraction battle royale shooter. We haven't had a game come out and really shake up the space yet. Like, a lot of these battle royale shooters or a lot of these hero shooters, they just live and they die. Spectre Divide, done. Whatever that one that was made by Sony, done. That was a hero shooter. Like, a lot of these ones are failing to come up. Like, we just got another one, Fragpunk. Fragpunk's a pretty fun, like, Valorant-esque game, but this is something brand new. It's not a dull, dark, extraction shooter. Like, we kind of have some of those that are still coming out, and they're great and all, but Marathon has piqued my interest since day one. Since I saw that trailer at the Video Game Awards, which is, I think it was when we saw it back in like 2023. So I'm hoping they've been working hard. I know Sony and Bungie have been kind of going back and forth, because especially with the Destiny stuff, they've been kind of clashing heads as far as to my understanding, but I cannot wait for this game. We'll be covering more stuff. There's different characters that you can choose from. They're called them runners right now. I think there's like 4. There's a 4th secret one that we just got privy to like last week. They don't know what it's called. They don't know what it does. We'll find out. So we got to dive into that. And like I said, we got to dive into the Marathon story. Diving into the Marathon story will help us understand a lot more of what's going on. I was a Halo kid when Halo came out. I never heard of Marathon. Apparently that was the predecessor to Halo. So a lot of this stuff deals with Halo and Destiny and blah, blah, blah. So I think they're going to be taking a lot of aspects from those games and like throwing them in here. It's Bungie. Wouldn't be surprised. So we'll definitely be going over that. And then if there's an ARG part 2, if there's something that's going on with the ARG, I will definitely make a video. I will try and stream it if I can. But at the same time, I'm excited. We'll be making content for this now. It got me in the chair. Sometimes I hear news. It comes across my desk and I'm like, we got to talk about Marvel and the casting for Doomsday and everything else like that. But it's Marvel. I don't really feel like I need to cover it. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that movie, so like I'm still kind of on the fence about it, you know what I mean? But Marathon, you got my interest peaked. I've been watching videos all day, man, so we're going to be watching more videos. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like I said, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification when we're posting new videos, make sure you hit the like button and comment. But make sure you follow Jake the All Right. Like I said, his video, his YouTube will be in the description. Amazing guy. Been doing it for a while. His channel really popped off once the Marathon stuff started coming out, and I appreciate him for making this video, man. Thank you for helping me catch up, and hopefully I can come on to this now and make my own stuff and get in there. I haven't made a video since the last trailer, and he's been going on, man. It's a marathon, not a race. I always say that, but listen, catch you on the next one. Keep your eyes peeled. See you later.